Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much again for joining me here. Hope you're having a great day. Let's take a look here at Fetch.AI, see what's going on. This coin is performing very well, and I guess you could say most of the market is too, but we're seeing this nice little ascending type of trend here, likely breaking through a resistance. If I'm not mistaken, that should be the 0.618 fib level. And let's go ahead and double check some important factors here too. If we do take a look at this descending trend line, you can see we broke soundly through that and effectively performing very nicely. Okay, so again, these are little things we like to kind of look at just to get perspective on where we're at here with things. Again, a trend line is exactly that until it's broken, right? But the key takeaway here is now that it is broken, we can expect that to be a new either potential support of the price pulls back, or more importantly, just the fact that price action is back on track. Keep in mind this happened pretty concurrent with the rest of the market, right? Bitcoin running towards 73,000. That's its previous all-time high daily candlestick closure. It's important to know that Bitcoin's probably going to pull back a little bit, and altcoins will too, within reason. But this coin does look like it's performing much better than most coins as far as just ascending trend. Okay, so anyways, just kind of throwing it out there. Those are just little things to kind of think about and understand. Let's take a quick look at the backend data, see what's going on, and quickly understand liquidation levels, etc. So I got the 12-hour time frame on the left, and then we got the 1 month on the right. Give us kind of perspective on smaller and larger time frames. So Fetch.AI, if we look kind of close, we can see there's a lot of liquidation down as low as 130 and then 128. So just know if the price pulls back, that would be a logical place for the price to kind of bounce or to sweep, just based on how liquidation works. It works a lot like a magnet. So I'm not proposing we're going to exactly see that, but if we do, I wouldn't be surprised by it. In other words, that would be a good consideration for a long, or maybe even a secondary or tertiary entry target if you're considering a long right now, trying to get some skin in the game. We take a look here though, big picture. 157 upwards of 170 has quite a lot of liquidation. That's somewhere in the range of 3 to 4 billion if you add this all up, maybe as a rough estimate. So that's a lot. So 160 to 180 is that round number, easy to understand. More propensity for the price to go up than down based on that sentiment. Now that's not the only reason to take a trade, but again, it's something that is important to be mindful of. Okay, so that has some incentive there, some value or merit. Now let's go ahead and zoom in here a little bit on the daily and see what's going on with our moving averages. We're above the 100-day SMA, which to me is a whoop-de-doo. I don't really care too much about the 100-day SMA as much as the 20 or the 50. So getting above, again, this 137 to 145 roughly would be a very big deal, okay? Now again, we have somewhat of a point of control here. If we zoom out, just say whatever since September 1st, we can see the most amount of volume at 139. So we can propose, or presume, I would like to propose that being a potential resistance level, okay? So it doesn't mean the price can't break through it or continue higher. Just know that we're gonna see some consolidation and or resistance at that level, okay? It's really common. In fact, what we could do here too, just to give us a more macro understanding, we can extend out our fibs here and see this 0.618 fib level, 150, seems like a logical place that we're gonna see the most amount of resistance outside that point of control, because from the basic, the most recent high to the most recent low, we can see that's kind of like that area of retracement. It's really common for price action to come back there, and you can also see multiple attempts to break it with no success, okay? So is that a bad thing for where we're at right now? Is it detrimental? No, it just tells us that 150 is probably going to be a pretty strong resistance. So if you consider a long between now and then, securing profits prior to that 150/148, I think it was, is an important consideration. Okay, so me personally, I would take profit like 147, 147 and a half, just shy of that level, so you're not just kind of risking too much. Okay, take a look here at the RSI. We can see we're getting closer to 50 in the RSI. Stochastic swinging up. These are all generally favorable signs. We can see, of course, as well, MACD trying to converge. So the daily time frame looks moderately bullish, but not completely. Okay, and it's not to say you can't still take a long position into that. It just implies that we haven't fully broken bullish, so you don't want to be like blindly taking longs on this coin until we have some confirmation. Now, to me, confirmation comes on hourly and 4-hour time frames as far as important levels to look for, or just shifts in momentum. So we look at this here, we're above the 20 and the 50-day SMA. In fact, we're consolidating nicely above the 50, and this leads me to believe that we are in pretty good shape here, mainly because those are two indicators I look for trend reversal. A lot of times you want to see a trend reversal in 3 ways, or there's 3 steps to trend reversal. If you're part of my community, my trading community, make sure you reference our, so here, I guess it would be the university, so you can watch some of my videos here, of course, because I do educate a lot on trend reversal, but here's the 3 things that kind of factor in. First of all, An initial descending trend establishes lower highs, right? We've broken that lower high pattern. Awesome. Step number 2 in general is to identify range-bound activity, which is usually something that looks like this. Okay, we were in a range until we broke free from it. So not only do we break our descending trend and a horizontal, range-bound activity, we're now establishing higher highs and higher lows. So the propensity for this coin to go higher is greater because of that one thing. Okay, again, you don't just take a trade based on that one thing, but that tends to factor into the 50 and the 20-day SMA usually fairly well, and that leads me to believe we're more likely to see upside than downside. Worst case scenario, the price pulls back to hit the local high of about 127 and continue higher. And that does speak to some of our liquidation levels we've already looked at too. So again, just know we're not completely out of the woods, but we're looking pretty good here. And if we do identify it as well, we're over 50 on the RSI on the 4-hour time frame. This is generally going to be construed as a very positive bullish sign. Money flow index is extremely high compared to the RSI. That implies that people's perception of this coin is that it should go up, that it's a good value, but there's also more money in this coin to back that up too. That's super, super strong. Not a lot of coins actually have this kind of scenario, this variable. MACD is converging as well, a lot of good stuff there. If we take a look at the hourly too, we can recognize that we're above all moving averages, and the Ichimoku cloud is confirming that we're in good shape on all fronts. Good news is too, the cloud's consolidating down here at this lower fib level at 130/127. So this does reaffirm a nice support range. If the price doesn't end up pulling back, we should be able to see a leg up from there. Okay. These are all things I like to look for when I take a long position. So yeah, short answer here is that Fetch.AI is more likely to go higher than lower, especially if you look at this last hour. Look at the way that's behaved here compared to Bitcoin. You could argue that's a 1-to-1 ratio, but the truth is the way that Bitcoin is continuing and how well this coin is performing with it, it's more likely to break up than down. But again, there is a chance we could see a pullback to the low 130s, and that would be completely normal. Okay, so just be prepared for it. Whether or not you want to wait for that or average into it is up to you, but there's more likelihood of this coin going up than down, especially with it testing its key level resistance right now. So I like it. This looks good. So thanks again so much for bringing this to my attention. I think it was one of our community members in our group there. Was it Anna? I think she had some FOMO on this one. Don't worry, you're in good shape. If you want to jump in, I think you're going to find a lot more success. Just make sure you keep it with a lower leverage trade. Don't get too crazy out of control with high leverage in this regard. Just because if it does come down to the 120s, it would be terrible to get liquidated or stopped out because of that. All right. But again, there's a strong chance this coin goes higher. Okay, that's all we got. Last but not least, make sure you check out Bitunix, folks. Like I gotta mention this because this deposit bonus is only available to the end of the month. Check them out. They've been awesome to us. No KYC or VPN required. These guys are excellent. So check them out. We're also going to have a trading competition with them next month as well. So if you use my link to register, you are automatically eligible. There's no reason to have to register for it. It's all default. Okay. I'll have more information on that through our Discord and our Twitter, Telegram, and Discord. So check it out if you want. If not, that's cool too. I appreciate you watching. Thanks so much for liking the videos and always being an awesome part of my life. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.